with last year's elections. All right, now we want to go back to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions event, which is embarking on a week-long exercise that will see it review pending files at the Nairobi Remand Prison. The case review exercise will run up to Thursday this week and is aimed at ascertaining causes of delay of cases and identifying those can expedited. Let's just go back there and listen in to Senior Counsel Ojambo, who is currently addressing the people there.
Thank you so much, Senior Counsel. Ameongea kwa niaba ya mawakili wenu, kwa hivyo ninadhani mmefurahia. Sasa nitapea fursa kwa Secretary Public Prosecutions, Madam Dorcas Oduor, who will make her remarks and will also invite the chief guest.
Good morning. Honorable Justice Lesit, Judge of the High Court and the Presiding Judge of the Criminal Division, Mr. Fred Ojambo, Senior Counsel and Senior Partner, Kaplan Stratton, Marcella Uma, Deputy Solicitor General, Mr. Kariuki, the representative of DCI, Mr. Muhochi from the ICJ, Mr. Simi, where are you? From the Law Society of Kenya, and we have Mr. Mudoka from the Kituo cha Sheria. Where are you? We have Mr. Mudoka from Kituo cha Sheria. I also wish to recognize and to introduce to you our deputy directors. Two of them are here. Mr. Kennedy Kimuyu. And we also have Mr. Jacob Bundari. These are deputy directors in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. I would also like to recognize Mr. Ruto, the in charge Nairobi Remand Home, Madam Wairimu, our regional commander, and Mr. Mwalenga, the in-charge medium prison, Nairobi. My colleagues from the DPP, all other invited guests, protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the media and press. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this historic function aimed at discongesting the country's remand facilities. I thank each one of you most sincerely for having honored our invitation to this launch within a short period. The fact that you've left your exceedingly busy schedules to attend is a testimony of your interest in and commitment to the improvement of the criminal justice system in this, our beloved country. The purpose of our meeting here today is to officially launch the interdisciplinary effort aimed at tackling the issue of congestion in the country remand facilities. Today, we look at the matter from the perspective of the National Prosecution Office. As it must be, this effort is multidimensional and requires a multi-agency combination. This is because its success cannot lie in the work, however excellent, of a single department or body. Success depends centrally upon the involvement and active cooperation of every sector in the criminal justice system. It is for this reason that I especially acknowledge the presence of Her Ladyship, the Honorable Justice Lesit, representing the Judiciary, which is a significant stakeholder in the criminal justice system. I also note that the attendance of the Law Society of Kenya representative and senior members of the bar, we have one senior member of the bar, Mr. Ojambo, and others. The legal fraternity can play a key role in ensuring expedition in court cases. There are also other sectoral representatives, you have seen them, all of whose participation and contribution is invaluable in this project. I pay tribute to you all for your interest and presence. As a special case, however, permit me to mention the Kenya Prison Service. When I spoke to the Commissioner General, Mr. Osugo, and I told him about this initiative, he was very excited. In fact, he told me to come that afternoon, but it was too short. The service is most affected by any mistakes, deficiencies, or failures by all the other agencies higher up the food chain of the criminal justice system. They suffer the consequences and rarely reap the benefits of the actions of those before them in the pipeline. This event is therefore purposely held within the precincts of the prison of the Nairobi Remand Prison in order to emphasize, by demonstrating physically, the challenge which today we set out to meet and which, in due course, we hope to vanquish. The challenge is the blight of overcrowding in remand facilities nationwide. Overcrowding in penal or correctional institutions is not a uniquely Kenyan phenomenon. It is a global problem with which national governments and other international and transnational institutions and authorities are constantly grappling with. Strategy upon strategy has been rolled out globally to find a lasting solution. Today marks the ODPP's renewed onslaught on the Kenyan version of this perennial blow to the criminal justice system. Overcrowding in penal or correctional institutions is a natural consequence of a number of social realities. For instance, it has been noted in a publication by the United Nations Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, entitled Addressing the Global Prison Crisis Strategy 2015-2017 that the general growth of population, coupled with deficiency in the state's criminal justice system and of policies, which include excessive use of pretrial detention, lack of access to legal advice and assistance, scarce use of alternatives to imprisonment and detention detentions used as first resort for children in conflict with the law, are among others major causative factors of overcrowding in pretrial detention centers. For although those places are the final destination for the persons who are processed through the criminal justice system, they are often least regarded in the entire process, as was said by Mr. Muhochi. It has been noted by the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, in a 2013 report that overcrowding was an increasingly widespread problem in a number of countries and places of detention. The report postulates that in itself, such overcrowding is a very serious humanitarian concern, as it automatically generates substandard and often inhuman conditions of detention. The report says, and I quote, that tens of thousands of people are forced to live for extended periods in congested accommodation with insufficient space to move, sit, or sleep. This seriously compromises the ability of the administration to fulfill detainees' basic needs in terms of living conditions, medical care, legal and family visits. Eventually, this constitutes the erosion of the detainee's human dignity and undermines the detainee's physical and mental health, as well as his or her reintegration prospects. Similar values and understanding also broadly underpin the government's Vision 2030 in the sense of expeditious justice for all. Currently, the government, and the president has said so, is focusing on 4 pillars. That is housing, infrastructure, manufacturing, food security, and nutrition. This cannot happen only outside. It has to be also in prison. And some of you are very critical in doing this because you are our sons, you are our brothers and sisters, you are our uncles, you are our husbands, you are our grandfathers. You are our nephews, you are our boyfriends, you are everything. All that we have talked about may seem very dire, but our local scene may not be as dire as the scenario set out in the ICRC report, but truth be told, our statistics do not make happy reading either. The available records show that as at 17th of January 2018, within the jurisdiction area of the 12 magistrate court stations in Nairobi area alone, we had 2,532 cases pending, and accordingly, those concerned remain held in the remand facility. The distribution is as follows. Milimani Law Courts, 417, Makadara, 1164, Kibera, 207 in this remand home, and we have another 500 and about 60 in the medium prison. In Kiambu, 129, Kikuyu, 150, Limuru, 44, Githunguri, 11, Ngong, 45, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, 24, Gatundu, 16, Thika, 119, Kipimani, 26. Those figures are not happy figures to read. The exercise, which begins today and will continue uninterrupted for the next 100 days, is aimed at determining the status of each of those cases and to establish what intervention the ODPP can make so as to fast-track the cases. We will want to know the ages and station of the remandees, for how long they may have been there and the offenses for which they are held. Where bail or bond was ordered by court, we want to know why the remandee has not taken that course. In short, we will seek to explore the reasons why the population of remandees could not be scaled down. And specifically, we would want to know how, as a prosecution office, we may expedite the processing out of the remand facility such remandees as should rightly and properly be relocated from the facility. The information obtained will assist in the decision as to the manner in which the cases will ultimately be dealt with or disposed. An aspect of the ODPP's core mandate includes to assist in the expeditious disposal of cases brought before the court for adjudication. In turn, it is also a duty to be of assistance to correctional institutions, but not delaying the conclusion of prosecutions, thereby exacerbating the already critical condition in remand homes. We subscribe to the principle that overcrowding in a place of detention, particularly while the inmates await their trial, is not an inevitability. It can be tackled successfully when all agencies concerned act in concert. The initiative which begins today is therefore the ODPP's modest but determined effort to focus specifically on the issue of overcrowding. We believe that we have the resolve and the manpower to complete the task in the time frame we have set out ourselves. We propose to review and reevaluate our progress at the end of the 100 days, and hopefully we shall have learned lessons to inform our next steps. Now more than ever before, there is always space for demystifying prosecution and giving it a human face. To the man on the street, prosecutors are often seen as that cadre of heartless, unfeeling automatons who jubilate at the woes of all who are arraigned in court and cannot wait to have them locked up. Today, the prosecutors have come to you, and I want them to be upstanding so that you can see them. We want to show that they are humans like you, and they empathize with you, and they are here to show that we have the capacity to do what we have started doing. Please stand up. Simameni, the prosecutors, everybody from the ODPP. Simameni. Excuse me, prosecutors, everybody from the DPP's office, please rise. You have seen they have all come here today because we are serious and we actually want to review your cases and resolve them. We hope that the outcome of this entire exercise go a long way in decongestion by expediting conclusion of some of the reviewed cases. And once again, please accept my sincere gratitude for being here and thus demonstrating your willingness to cooperate in this worthy cause. I thank you all, and I thank you all, and I hope we will work together. Thank you so much. I'm sorry the speech was a bit long, but I think it was necessary. I now take this opportunity to welcome Justice Lesit, who will make her remarks and also launch this initiative. Thank you.
Mrs. Oduor, the Secretary of Public Prosecutions, Senior Counsel Fred Ojambo, let me say all guests and also our hosts, ladies and gentlemen, and also our remands. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year upande huu. Nimefurahi sana kurudi hapa. Nilikuwa nimetembea mwaka jana mwezi wa 10. Sijui kuna mtu aliniona hapa. Muliniona? Sasa niko na furaha sana kwa sababu nimeitwa na ofisi ya Director of Public Prosecution. Nije nione, niwe witness ya ile kazi wanataka kuanzisha usiku wa leo. Kwa hivyo nasema asante sana kwa sababu ya kualikwa. Nitaongea na Kiingereza, pengine mwisho tutaongea Kiswahili, mtaniruhusu. So allow me to first convey my warmest New Year greetings to you all. I am honored to be present here today and to join hands with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. I thank Mrs. Oduor for extending this invitation, and we highly value this continued partnership to promote the delivery of justice to all. Now, it is our united interest to see that justice is served to all. You know that the judiciary has been on the forefront.
All right, so that event is happening here in Nairobi Industrial Area at the Nairobi Remand Prison. And but just from listening to some sentiments from the leadership at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, we've heard the Deputy Director there just talking about the situation, especially at that particular prison, saying that some of the petty cases that have been going on for such a long time will be expedited. Remember that in this week-long project, they will be looking at some of the cases that have taken so long to be dealt with, and she's made a promise to the inmates there that some of the cases will be looked into, and that delay is going to officially be over for some of the people who have been in prison for such a long time. Remember, she also talked about congestion in that particular prison, therefore the need to